Well, for some reason, I'm having issues with the TikTok feed monitoring.
Wow, the Russell went right back down, didn't it?
Oh, yeah, it did.
It was at a level, I had that as a goal level too.
Log out of TikTok, come back in, I guess. Can somebody check the TikTok feed, please? Apparently, for some reason, I am having issues logging into it. Is TikTok up?
It's up.
Stop, you're all good.
Sorry, TikTok. I'm trying to get this going on here.
That's a close-up view of your screen, huh?
Yeah, that's why I got adjusted after I get going here. Excuse me. Welcome you guys that are here live now. It's early on purpose because the Fed is going to be giving their interest rate decision here at 2 o'clock at the top of the hour. Well, I don't know what the heck's going on with this. Now, let me clear out all my cookies. Oh, that's jazz. All right. In about a minute and a half, we're going to have the Fed's FOMC meeting decision released at precisely 2 o'clock Eastern Time with their interest rate decision. We will be here live watching to see what that decision is. Everybody expects it to be no adjustment, so this whole thing may be a nothing burger, but you never know until it happens. Well, I can't log into my TikTok.
1 minute to the Fed rate decision.
There you go. 1 minute. So I am sharing here, watching to see what the news is. I will read it if we don't hear him say it on this live Squawk Box feed on Bazinga Pro subscription that I have. And we'll see how the markets react. If you watch ES, you will see it live as it happens. So I'm going to go up here, move this out of the way. Those on TikTok, if you want the better feed, the better view, I highly suggest you go over to our YouTube channel, American Dream Trading, and get that view from over there, because this is less than an ideal view. It is what it is. But you will see the S&P 500 react accordingly. So we're going to watch that. We got 5 seconds for the news release. Watch SPY, yes, react to the market. Matter of fact, it'll react before we probably see the news because they use
Fed
Bloomberg.
Reserve keeps Fed funds rate unchanged at 4.25%, leaves discount rate unchanged at 4.5%.
And there you go. What happened? Exactly what everybody expected, but yet the market's been freaking out all
Voted
week.
12-0 for the Fed funds rate action. Fed FOMC says economic expansion remains solid despite trade swings. Risks of higher inflation, unemployment have risen. Uncertainty about the economic outlook has increased further. That's from the FOMC.
And as you can see, the markets didn't really react because that is exactly what they were expecting. So
S&P futures getting a little bounce here following that news.
just waiting here, see what else he has to say, if anything.
Market seems to normally tank when they start asking him questions.
Yep. All right, somehow magically I got my feedback. Anyway, now I can see what y'all say. All right, so everything happened as expected. The next big event that will probably cause the markets to move will be at 2:30 when Fed Chairman Powell takes the platform, and he will make a statement at 2:30. It usually lasts a couple minutes, and at that time, he will be answering questions from the financial reporters from all around the world. And during that press conference, they will be looking for every word that comes out of his mouth to try to probably read more into it than it really is. But this is a normal occurrence, happens every FOMC meeting. So it's what he says that's it's what he says and the outlooks and stuff, why they reached the decision that they did. And that's what the markets will be looking for. You'll see, I mean, if he comes out, just reads the company line and doesn't deviate from anything, the markets will react like they are now. It's exactly what everybody expected. And as according to that news, markets have not reacted positively or negatively. Or as we like to call it here at AmericanDreamTrading.com, a nothing burger. So anyway, glad you could be here today. This is a little bit different. We try to start early on the FOMC meeting date so that you can join us in seeing how the markets react to the federal government's news. The Fed chairman, they released a statement at 2, and at 2:30 the press conference comes on. They already said they're not changing anything. They're leaving everything as has been predicted. Said unemployment has risen, risk of higher inflation, economic expansion remains solid, and it was a 12-0 unanimous vote to keep the Fed funds where they're at. So no, people, your mortgage rates are not coming down. Your home equity loans interest rate is not dropping. And even if it was, you wouldn't see that for about 6 months anyway. So remains unchanged, business as usual. Why? It's because inflation is not under control, neither is the job markets. So now if the unemployment had been lower, then they might have been more inclined to lower the interest rates. But it wasn't. It was actually higher, so they are leaving interest rates higher. Well, why are they leaving interest rate higher? What does that do? Well, are you going to go out and get a new house loan if the interest rates is real high right now? Nope. Are you going to go out and get that? Are you as likely to go out and get a car loan when the interest rates are higher? Nope. Why? Because your car payment's going to be higher. Your house payment's going to be higher. Some cases that means you won't be able to afford that car payment or that house payment, right? So people will wait for rates to come down for a better buy. Now, if you're already determined that's what you're going to do, you're going to do it no matter what the rates are, right? So you don't really care. But keeping the interest rate higher makes people keep their money in their checkbook longer, which helps bring inflation down because as people buy, no matter if you're willing to pay $8 a dozen for eggs, as they were here a few months back, right? Remember that? Everybody's having a fit because chicken eggs were $8 a dozen, right? Instead of crack dealers on the street, you had egg dealers on the street, right? So are you willing to pay $8 a dozen for eggs? Well, if it's part of your required diet and your life depends on it, I guess you would. But I know I didn't pay $8 a dozen for eggs. Well, I live in the country anyway, so I wasn't going to do that. I get my chicken and eggs straight out of the chicken's butt. So, anyway, that's what inflation does. So, if people are willing to continually spend $8 a dozen on eggs, what do you think they're going to do with the price of eggs? You think they're going to drop? Well, heck no, right? So that's what causes inflation. People keep spending money, the prices don't have a chance to drop. It's basic economic principle, right? The invisible hand, it's called. The markets will tend to provide what the buyers are willing to spend. So if you've resigned yourself to always spending $8 a dozen on eggs, it's something that's been $2 or $3 a dozen forever, right? Well, then they're going to leave the price of eggs up there. So, but if people don't go because of the egg prices are higher, well, guess what? Now the stores are stuck with $8 a dozen eggs. They have a choice: keep them at 8 dozen, let them rot in their shelves, go bad and stinky and everything, or lower their prices so that people will come in and buy it at the normal prices. So what happened in the supermarkets? Well, after a while, and I realized there were external forces that caused egg prices to go up, and we're not going to go there right now. But now eggs are back down at a more respectable price. At least they're back to normal prices. They're still a little higher than they were, but basically the market has settled out. The price of eggs has dropped dramatically, and world order is established. So now we're getting a giant pull in the market, another reaction, right, to the downside. Now, the ones that aren't going to be happy are the ones in the small cap companies, which they already knew this was going to happen. And that would be your Russell Index. Why? Because they are dependent on interest rates to keep their companies running. When they want to go to a bank and get a loan, well, guess what? Their interest rates are higher. So, and it didn't even really react that much either, because they already had that baked in, what we call it, because they already expected it not change, so they weren't surprised that it didn't. Okay, so that's not good news. You know, for the small cap companies, because now they still have to continue paying higher interest rates. So, anyway, I skipped all my preliminary things, but welcome to AmericanDreamTrading.com's social media outreach. This AmericanDreamTrading.com was created by, incorporated by Chad Christian, who we call Coach, who we call him Coach because he helps us to navigate through the muddy waters of everything investing. So I'm Mark McSee, one of the training moderators here, and I'm your host here every day from 2 to 4 p.m., Monday through Friday. Again, I've been saying this daily on TikTok, and I've already seen comment there, but thank you for that comment. TikTok, I have software issues where I cannot connect mainly because I have a Mac operating system. TikTok does not have a separate system for Mac operatings. They have a workaround, but it's not very good. So the only way I can now, since they've broken that connection, I cannot do it like we used to. Now Coach can, because he has a Windows system. So I cannot transmit that way. The only way I can transmit to you guys on TikTok is through an iPad pointed directly at my screen. It is less than ideal. I do not like doing it myself, but it is what it is. I don't foresee that any change in the future. However, what I do recommend is you go over to our YouTube channel, which is American Dream Trading. There you'll get the full screen view. You'll get the direct audio, because all you're hearing on TikTok is what comes through my iPad. Again, not the best. So if you want the best view, the full screen view, if you want to be able to hear any videos that I may or may not play, I would highly suggest you run over to TikTok right now, or TikTok, run over to YouTube and log in over there on our channel, American Dream Trading, and you'll get the full screen view like you're used to. Now, Coach can continue to do it because he has basically, it's just a Windows operating system, and that's how it works. So, and I'm not about to go out and buy a whole new computer system for that. So Anyway, I welcome you're here. Glad you're here. If this is your first time here, would you please click that subscribe and share button? For those of you on YouTube, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. We did start about 10 minutes early today, 5 minutes earlier than normal, because I wanted you to experience the Fed meeting as it happened. They call it the FOMC meeting, which is when they release what they're doing with interest rates. That affects not only our country, but the entire world, believe it or not, because we are in a macro economic world. We are all interconnected in our trade and all that. Speaking of trade, the president also said that he was not going to lower tariffs on the big country on the other side of the world, if you know who I mean. Their favorite color is red. So, but they are meeting this weekend. They're starting tariff talks this weekend in Switzerland. So at least they're getting a start out on it. Do I believe they will reach some sort of agreement? I believe they will. I mean, it's the best interest of both parties, right? With that country overseas that likes the color red a lot, would be the largest over there. It's in their best interest. They have more to lose by not negotiating down some of these tariffs, this tariff war that we're in. So anyway, that don't start till Saturday, and that's just the preliminary meetings, and it'll go from there. So it is still brand new news, and it will evolve over time. Things aren't going to go away overnight. So it is what it is. And that affects what we trade every single day. But we don't care here at American Dream Trading whether the market goes up or goes down or goes sideways. Why is that? Because Coach has educated us on how to make money when the markets go up. He's educated on us how to make money when the markets go down. And he's also educated us on how to make money on the markets when they even go sideways, right? So again, for those of you on TikTok, if you want to head on over there to YouTube, you'll get a much better view, much better audio. So like we do every day, if you have questions or comments, feel free to type them in your social media chat box, and we will do our best to answer your questions as time allows. We have a little over 15 minutes before the Fed chairman takes the podium, releases his statement, which is pretty much what they've already released in a roundabout way, except to be very detailed. And then he'll start, probably within 5 minutes of that, he will start taking questions from financial reporters. You can go online and watch that meeting live if you've never seen one before. It's actually pretty interesting. It's something different if you have never experienced it. You can go to the Fed chairman's their website, and you can watch it live, and there'll be feeds everywhere else too. So you can see the markets are very volatile. They have been volatile all day. Did we make money today? Yes, but we were very cautious in our trades. There wasn't any big runners per se. There was a lot of ups and downs. So we just traded the trades we had. It was very volatile at the open. We did play up, we did play down, and we played a little bit sideways. As a matter of fact, we found as a group today, it was kind of a revelation to us. Well, we're sitting in here through this chop, and then somebody said, well, look at agriculture. So we went and looked at agriculture, and I ended up trading lead hogs, and some people were trading cattle. Others were trading corn. Some were trading soybean oil, which I have traded soybean oil a lot. Matter of fact, that's my favorite one to trade in agriculture. I just haven't been real active in it. I ended up trading lean hogs today and made really nice money on that. And they had some really nice EWOs, that really nice long runs. And, had we been in it at the beginning of the market over there, we'd have made even more money because it was just a nice, steady downtrend on all of them, basically. Very easy trade. It would have been easy money, actually. And so we know now if we get into a choppy day or for some reason there's some news holding back, well, we know now, make sure we don't ignore agriculture. We always look at other sectors, but us as a group here in our live training and trading, which starts at 8:30 live on a Zoom call every morning, we haven't really focused on agricultural sector that much. It's not as sexy, right? Like trading the indices or trading gold or trading the euro. So, but we found out the hard way. Had we been in at the beginning of the day, we would have made a boatload of money, more so than we made during our normal trading. But it would have been a lot easier money. It's nice when you can make easy money, but we know how to make money when it's hard too. So, Trading Penny says over on our YouTube live feed, as a scalper, you're using the 2-minute here more than using the EWO. Well, when I'm scalping, I'm not using the EWO. Now, will I scalp and it turns into an EWO and I let it run longer? Yep, of course. I just have the 2-minute up because for EWO purposes. However, generally I scalp on a 1-minute chart. It gives me quicker reaction. I have found myself actually scalping a little bit more on a 2-minute chart, and I do just as well there too. So I was talking about that earlier in the last couple days even, that maybe I'll start taking a look at that more. Maybe I'll stay in a little longer in my trades because it's not as volatile on the candle movements, right? So it may end up help me stay in longer. And I'm willing to do anything that helps me to improve. Matter of fact, we had one of our members say, hey, could you cover some of my trades that I did today? And so we covered some of my trades that I had already done. They were actually from yesterday. And I'm like, okay, yeah, right here, I'll show you. I was all proud with chest all puffed out. I made good money even yesterday. And I'm like, oh, yeah, these are all going to be good trades to look at. Well, I discovered after the first one or two that I showed that I wasn't really trusting my indicators. I actually got out of trades earlier than I should had. And in the one example, we figured out that I gave up $2,500 that I had no reason to give up because I jumped out of the trade too early and I didn't trust my indicators. And the bad thing is Mark is in here every day as a moderator running his mouth. Do I trust my indicators? People, trust your indicators. So I had to tell him, do what I say, not what I do. So, but that helps me too because it shows that I'm not as good at trusting my indicators as I fool myself into believing sometimes, right? We live in our own delusions at times. We think we're better than we are, right? So that was a humbling experience. I was showing that live, which I share everything live. I'm pretty open in our live trainings. I even share my P&L with the members. They know how much I make every day. I show to them. I think I show them about I think I do show it every day. So I showed them what I ended up making today, right? So I'm not afraid to show things. We're all human. We all make mistakes, right? So learning to trust your indicators is easier said than done sometimes. Now, did I make a lot of money yesterday anyway? Yeah. But there one instance of the trade I shared, I could have had $2,500 more if I had just sat there for another 5 or 6 minutes and trusted my indicator, because at no time did it tell me to get out of that trade. So it's kind of foolish that I bailed when I did. I understand why I did. And the root cause of it is not that so much that I didn't trust my indicators as it was I was impatient. I got into a little bit of consolidating candles and I jumped out too soon, right? I didn't give it the time to move. And at one time, it never broke my one key indicator. Matter of fact, it stayed clearly above it. And I got out anyway because the consolidations candles went sideways for, what was it, 6 minutes, 8 minutes maybe? And I waited another 2 more minutes. The candle shot up and I would have made a bunch more money. But I didn't, and there's nothing you can do about it other than to review your trades and learn from it. And that's how you learn. So I'm glad that our member asked me to do that. That helped reinforce I'm not where I need to be yet. And I recognize that already, that part, but now I showed it live there and I got to see it. I didn't realize that I had jumped out that early, that I gave up profits like that by being impatient. And that's the whole root of it, was impatience. And I'm a very impatient person. And no, you members live in the room with me don't have to agree with me. Just if you do, just keep it to yourself. So anyway, we have 10 minutes for the Fed speaker goes live. Expect candles to go up and down on your charts, especially the indices such as the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, the Russell, right? The news is already out, so it shouldn't really be that much to it unless he says something that, because he will give a longer term outlook in his press conference and from the questions that people will be asking him. And when he calls on him, he's got to answer the questions, even though he does talk out of both sides of his mouth at one time sometimes. But he's a highly intelligent individual, whether you like him or not. He is a highly intelligent individual and a seasoned speaker, so he's very careful with the words that he says because his words hold worldwide weight. What he says can make a market go up, and what he says can make a market go down. That's the kind of power the Fed chairman has in the United States. So he has to be careful on what he says and stick to the facts, right? And so you will see if you listen to it how careful he is on what he says. And the reporters will try to will do reporter things and try to hook him on something that he didn't say or try to misinterpret what he said and throw him off a little bit. But this ain't his first rodeo. He knows what he's doing, right? So I haven't personally traded since before 1 o'clock, and that's how we advise our paid members, especially the inexperienced members, to not trade close to the FOMC meeting because of the potential volatility. And did we really have any? Well, the markets did pull down, which we could have made money on that. But I just decided to take the profits that I had today and just sit on my hand. I had a good day today. No reason to do something dumb and give up my profits. So you can't lose anything if you're not in there fiddle farting around trying to squeeze pennies out of something. So, all right. So anyway, let's see what other questions. Any comments, questions? Yes, the meeting did happen at 2 o'clock there, Charlie. Is this this on my screen now? Is ES, it's S&P 500.
I have a question, Mark.
Okay, question.
What is fiddle farting?
That's where you sit there and just don't know what you're doing and you're not really doing anything, but you are involved in an activity that's not accomplishing anything.
I love it. Thank
Mark's
you.
main hobby.
Yeah, my main hobby. Get in a trade that I shouldn't be in and just kind of let it go. And maybe it'll work, maybe it won't.
Right.
It's like if you tell your kid to go do something and they start to walk away to go do it, and then they just like
Start fiddle farting around.
Oh, you know what? Oh, squirrel! Oh, squirrel! And then let's get distracted, right? And we quit fiddle farting around. Let's go.
Like walking around the office with a piece of paper in your hand so nobody bothers you because you look busy.
Yeah, you know.
I don't do that. I've never done that.
Yeah.
Stop it. Squirrel. Had to ask.
That's a Midwest term. We all have our little things, right? Your parents never yelled at you, quit fiddle farting around and get the grass mowed.
I like that. That's the word of the week. The word of the week is fiddle farting.
Oh,
Actually, Dawn, it's what you call hemming and hawing.
Hemming and hawing there.
I do say that a lot, don't I?
That's the same thing as fiddle and farting around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just want to know. Thanks.
We learn all kinds of things here at AmericanDreamTrading.com.
Learn a
We
plethora
are
of
live,
things.
by the way, 3 times daily. Speaking of Dawn, Coach is live from 9 to 11 with the stocks. And I'm live from 2 to 4 each and every day. And then we have the aftermarket show at 5 o'clock with our gracious, silky voice, smooth talker, Dawn, over on our YouTube channel, American Dream Trading. That starts at 5, a little bit different show. You can actually get on there with an open mic, join the panel, and even turn your camera on if you wish to do that, and join the panel live and interact that way instead of typing in your questions. But if you prefer just to type in the comment boxes, you can do that over there also. Again,
And you don't have to be a member to come join. Come hang out with us at 5. We only stay on from about 5 to 6. Sometimes it goes to 6:30. We do things like play stock market hangman, 2 truths and 1 lie, which we get 3 statements that obviously pertain to the stock market. And you have to pick out which one is the lie. We do training. We watch a lot of coaches' videos, pick them apart. And yeah, it's really fun. So if you don't want to have your camera on, you don't have to. But if you do, if you're a ham like some of us, but come on over. And yeah, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Yesterday we had a great show. We had some people on talking about what their favorite strategy was to trade, whether it was the 2-minute EWO, which is coach's strategy that we use when we want to stay in a trade, or scalping. What are you? What do you do? So coming over.
There you go. 5 p.m. daily, Monday through Friday, over on YouTube.com, American Dream Trading. So check it out.
And you will see Mark McSee in the chat sometime, so you can go pick on him.
Yeah, once in a while I come back and
He'll
join the
pop on the panel.
show. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, whatever. Got a theme for the night yet tonight there, Miss Aftermarket?
I'm editing where to leave a review. And if you haven't left a review for AmericanDreamTrading.com, please make sure you go do that. So I'm editing that right now. So I'll come up with something.
All right. We're 4 minutes away from the chairman taking the podium on that. So you can get online. You can watch that broadcast live. It will start right at 2:30. Or you could probably turn the TV on. They may be broadcasting there also. They don't always do it. Particularly probably on days like this when it's already what they expected, but you never know. So check it out. We'll be watching. As a matter of fact, you can pretty much tell when he starts speaking, you'll see the markets move around a little bit. It's like, oh, somebody's talking somewhere. See that every day. Oh my goodness, something just dropped. Somebody said something on TV somewhere. So anyway, I'm glad you could be here. Make sure you click that subscribe button. Those of you on TikTok, if you want the full screen view, the better view with audio, and the full, you can see my whole screen. I highly recommend you go over to YouTube, American Dream Trading. So let's take a quick walk around the block, see what's happening here. Gold it's spiked temporarily, and that was right around a little bit after that 2 o'clock. Right, no change. They got a little bit of a knee-jerk reaction to it, and already retraced back to where it was. We already seen the S&P. There's the Russell. What did oil do? Did oil react to the news? Well, let's see if oil reacted to the news. Not really. It's been in a downtrend all day. That would have been another beautiful trade today that I didn't take. As you can see, it just went down all day. Could have rode that all day long and took a nap while that was going on. Huge drop. The indices, the currencies, world currencies like the euro and the yen and the Australian dollar, also been falling. The indices, also the dollar, the strength of the dollar is kind of flat now. The Australian dollar, they had elections over there, so that had been climbing for the last few days. All these lines on here I'm trying to get rid of here. It's been kind of a nice run too. If you never looked at the Australian dollar, I recommend that. Look how that thing's taken off. And that started at 6 o'clock this morning, basically, straight up almost all day. That would have been another beautiful trade to be in all day. I'm going to have to start paying more attention to that because I would just like to make one click and sit there all day too. Doesn't always do this, but so they had elections over there this week. So now it's starting to retrace, as you can see a little bit. The Japanese yen, pretty much similar results, been going straight up. Right now it's pulling back during the open market because of the pending FOMC. There's live cattle futures. Look at that trade. Wouldn't that have been nice to have been in all day? Straight down. That is a beautiful, beautiful trade. And now ever since it bounced, it had a reversal. If he was in here yesterday, Richard talked about this very thing. A long candle followed by a different color candle could indicate a reversal. And as you could see, there it is. Just like Richard described yesterday, if you were in here. Richard's one of our moderators and trainers. There's feeder cattle, and I was trading little piggies. I was trading the piggies. There you go. So there you go. There's lean hogs. Used to be called pork bellies at one time, right? So, some of us like trading cattle, It's whatever you like. I got a sound effect for all of them so far, I think. Are there any other animals we trade that I don't have a sound effect for?
You dirty heifer, you.
You dirty heifer. Yes, there you go.
I don't know, but if you want one, let me know.
Okay. Don will hook me right up.
How
So,
about that really good screaming goat?
yep. I don't think so. Now, I can go to my local sale barn about 10 minutes from where I live and trade goats. So,
No.
yes, I live in a rural county. More people, sheep. There's more sheep and cows and goats than there are people in our county. All right. Oh, Doug says he traded a little bit of cattle today. I traded piggy, lean hogs. Yesterday I traded cattle. took a hamburger out of the freezer and thawed it out and ate it after I cooked it. So, there's that. How's that for a dad joke? All right. So there's all kinds of possibilities. And again, I think the biggest thing, I try to learn something new every day, and I always do learn something new every day, if not from another member or another moderator, just from questions that people ask or comments. And one of them pointed out today, maybe we ought to be paying more attention to some of these the agricultural sector. And so we'll probably do that. I would expect the same kind of movement the rest of the week, even though the meeting is over. That we might take a look at that again tomorrow. I might just concentrate on that tomorrow. If you get into trade and evaluate it and take what you can out of it, you could actually make good money by concentrating on one thing. And if it doesn't work, then I'll go somewhere else. So I might just trade all agriculture tomorrow just to see what happens. It's not investment, financial, or tax advice to anyone listening, because neither I nor anyone else associated with AmericanDreamTrading.com are licensed financial advisors, and as such, we can never give you financial, investment, or tax advice. And that makes our lawyers happy. I don't see any news coming across the wires. Well, I'm going to turn on this little squawk box thing here and see if they're saying anything that he's saying, but usually they will post it in my Bazinga news feed as that happens. So I don't see anything there yet, so we might be all right. Trade P. All right, what questions you got related to trading out there? All right. See what we got here. And by the way, whenever when I see people talking about paper trading, yes, you should paper trade. That's how you learn to use your broker software so that you can get in and out of a trade successfully. Should only be paper trading or trading on your desktop. You should also know how to do it on your cell phone, your tablet, whatever it is you're using to trade with. Always have a backup resource in case your computer decides to burn up and doesn't work, or somebody hits a telephone pole, knocks the power out to your house. You have to have a backup device at all times already loaded up with the software, so then at a second's notice you can reach across and get in there and exit a trade if you need to do that in case something happens. I've had it happen to me multiple times. And I had the first time I knew I was supposed to have it, and I did have it, but I never used the software on my cell phone. So I had to fumble around for a few minutes longer than I should had to exit the trade. Fortunately for me, I was actually going up. I was actually making money while I was fumbling around before I could get out of it. But that could have been disastrous had it been going against me. All right, I'm going to read you some of these comments as they're released right now. I just had this first release. The Fed chair said inflation has come down a great deal, running somewhat above 2%. Goal, current stance of policy leaves us well positioned to respond in a timely way. Import swing complicated GDP data, higher risk of unemployment, higher inflation risk has risen. Remains to be seen how uncertainty affects future spending and investment. Labor market broadly in balance, and a labor market consistent with maximum unemployment. When it says they leave us room to well positioned to respond in a timely manner, that means we can raise interest rates or lower them whenever we feel appropriate without saying those words. And look at what the markets are doing on the release of that his statement, giving positive news that things aren't as bad. There's hope yet, just not today, right? And look at the markets reacting to that. They are climbing, right? What's the Russell? It's also climbing, right? So as these statements are released, and he'll be talking for the next probably half hour with when he starts taking questions, time he gets done with they're generally about a half an hour long, mostly. All right, so see how the market reacted now that he's talking. It started at 2:30. He read his statement, and now they're probably getting ready to ask questions about this time, usually about 5 minutes after they get started. Generally, you'll see the most reaction between 2:35 to 2:50. It gives them about the first 10 to 15 minutes. Of course, they call on the ones they know they want to call on first. So keep an eye on it. If you're not in a trade, you should not be in a trade. This is one of the Top 5 most volatile days in a calendar year are the Fed meetings, and there's no sense risking your account on this one time period out of a year. Fed chairman's next statement released here says consumers, businesses report lower sentiment and their consumer confidence is down. Labor market is not a source of significant inflation pressure, so they're okay there. Near-term inflation expectations have moved up, so now they're still worried about inflation climbing. Respondents to point to tariffs driving inflation expectations, right? Tariffs haven't really affected any business yet, right? So it's just a perception of it. Longer term inflation expectations consistent with our goals. Tariffs so far have significantly been bigger than expected. Well, that's what happens in a trade war. Everybody starts piling on. You raise mine, I'm going to raise yours. Oh, you're going to raise mine? Well, I'm going to raise yours again. Oh, really? You're going to raise mine again? I'm going to raise yours again, right? Until somebody gives up, right? If large increases of tariff as announced are sustained, we expect to see higher inflation and lower employment. See, that's bad, right? But it's as expected at this time. Nothing has been carved in stone. We know we are not. We are in negotiations on the tariffs, which is what the current administration wanted to accomplish all along. Whether you agree with that or not is not what we're discussing, just stating the fact, not saying it's good or bad. I have my own very, very strong opinion on the matter, which there's no need for me to share. This is not the platform to do that with. The Fed chair also says avoiding permanent inflation will depend on the size and timing of the tariffs and inflation expectations. They aim to get inflation expectations anchored. Without price stability, they cannot achieve strong labor conditions. If the dual mandate, which is reducing inflation and increasing the job market, that's my take on that. Consider distance from the goal, time to close the gaps, time to wait before adjusting policy. Tariffs' longer term impact on inflation is not clear yet. That's because they haven't really happened yet. All right, it's all talks. Remember, these tariffs were suspended for a fixed time period. All right. Anyway, so I'm just reading you the news flashes as they come across my news service that I have a subscription to. So, what questions do you have? Any questions about FOMC, the Fed meeting? If you're not aware of it, this is your first time hearing about it, not familiar about it. We, as day traders, are very aware and very in tune to it because if we're in a trade when these things come out, it can be very detrimental to your account. You can also, on the flip side, take the information, the news release, and make money on that news, right? So we chose not to lose any money by staying out of the market until after the Fed meeting came out, right? So as a matter of fact, the CME group raises their margin requirements to keep inexperienced and small accounts out of the markets. So they have, since 1 o'clock today, which is an hour and a half ago, they raised their margin requirements from 1 to 3 p.m. At 3 p.m., they'll go back to the intraday margins. And they do that to force small accounts out of the market to help protect them if they aren't smart enough to do it on their own. But our members are trained, and it's said 100 times during the day, don't be trading during this time. It's going to be very volatile. So can you make money? Yep. Now today, this is a nice steady up climb. Now, if there's news that wasn't expected, you'll see the market shoot straight up or straight down. I mean, violent pulls upward or downward. And if you're on the wrong side of that trade, it will wipe your account out before you know it. But it don't, because we train here at AmericanDreamTrading.com to never trade without a stop and trade with one at all times. So hasn't been any other releases here yet. It's pretty much said all there needs to be said. We already knew the answer, right? We knew it was probably going to be a nothing burger before it became a nothing burger. So, do I want to trade this? Well, yeah, I could have if I'd been paying attention down here. I could have jumped into this and ran that up. But right now, I won't trade this for the simple reason it's right now back to where it was sitting all day on day. We were waiting for the S&P and the other indices to break out. They were stuck just like they are right now between the 200 and VWAP, and they would not leave that for forever. I know I sat there more longer than I cared to admit to, and lost other opportunities to make money waiting for this to break out of VWAP. Will it do it this time? I don't know. We'll look and see. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't, right? I'll leave that loaded up there. Questions. What questions do you have? Don't see very many today. What's going on? TikTok. You guys always have questions. You guys even been quiet today. What's going on with TikTok? Your fingers, you got arthritis today? All right, come on. Ask them questions. Waiting on your questions. You guys make this show more interesting. How would you find the symbols for hogs and corn and all that? You would go to your broker that you use, because brokers have different symbols. And I know I can go to Webull. They have a web page that lists all of the brokerage symbols. On TradingView, if I open up, if I want to change something, I can go here and it pops up this box. I can leave it on futures. Well, I don't know what it is. I don't know what hogs symbol is. I can just type in hogs, right? Anything that says hogs, right? There's lean hogs. There's one right there, right? LE is what the symbol would be. It'll pop it up there for you. I can use cattle, let's say. Just type in the word cattle, and it'll show you there's live cattle feed. There is feeder cattle futures. Again, you want to use the CME market ones. So if I click that now, it'll load it up. LE is live cattle, right? If I want to go to, let's say, hogs, right? There's lean hogs, right? HE. There it is, lean hogs. So you can use your search box. You don't actually have to know the symbol. Just type it in what you think you're looking for, right? And it'll search it and bring it up for you. And you put it up there. Again, it's broker dependent on what it is. What's going on here with this thing here? Something's goofy. No. Do that update thingy. Push this up to the latest version. There we go. And it's updating. See that? We just got an update. Look at that. They fixed an issue right there. Didn't even know about it. Fixed. That easy. Right? There was an update pushed out by our coding team who takes care of this for us. Let's see. Fed chairman says we're well positioned to wait for greater clarity before changing policy. Can't say which way the risk will shake out. See, he's being non-committal. A great deal of uncertainty about tariffs. It's too early to know. Policy is moderately restrictive. In other words, we're keeping interest rates high. That restricts people spending money. And a good place to wait and see what happens. We are in no hurry. We can be patient, let things evolve and become clear. Underlying inflation picture is good. Inflation now running a bit above 2% with decent readings in housing and non-housing services. And there you go. So again, he's giving a pretty good overall outlook, which is causing a good reaction from the markets overall. They're not continuing to pull. They're hearing some of the things one of the keywords they want to hear. Are they happy interest rates aren't coming down? Well, generally nobody is, right? We want to see lower interest rates. But keeping interest rate high has a purpose, and that is to restrict spending. Keep you from going out and financing new things, right? Because that keeps the prices high. If you get away from spending money, the prices will come down, and especially if you're financing something, especially big purchases, right? Houses, cars, those type of things that you would spend money on. Home improvement loans and all those kind of things, right? So you can restrict that. Does that hurt the businesses? It will in the long run, right? But they will have to lower their prices, and that helps the economy overall in the long run, and that's why we do that. That's why you have a monetary policy. Every country has one. They have goals.
Mark, gold
yes,
is
sir.
testing double bottom, triple bottom.
And why is gold going down if the indices are going up, Doug? That makes no sense at all. Why is that?
It's kind of an inverse relationship.
There you go. Right. So what is gold? What moves gold a lot is news and fear, right? It's a place people flee to when the world's crashing. They view the world's crashing around them. The sky's on fire. I'm going to go buy gold, right? I mean, sadly, that's the way it is, right? It's just another way to invest. So
used as a global hedge against volatility.
Yep. So as the indices go up, gold will tend to come down. There's a general inverse relationship. It's not 100% true, unlike anything else, but you'll generally see indices are going up, right? Here, what time did this start going up? We'll say about a quarter after 2. And what time did this happen? Oh, look at that. It started taking off at a little bit before that, 10 after. So
Euro is crashing.
Yep, and the euro is tied to our dollar. If our dollar is getting stronger, viewed to be getting stronger, right? And you can see, without me even having to look at that. Our dollar is up 0.3%. So
just broke through a quad bottom.
Thank you. The yen is right there. Fed chair says, when things develop, we can move quickly if appropriate. Now the appropriate thing to do is to wait. There's too much uncertainty. Everybody's just waiting to see how the developments play out. If we see higher inflation and higher unemployment, we won't see further progress towards our goals. In other words, if inflation goes up and unemployment changes, we're not changing our interest rates. We would like to see a delay on getting to the goals for the next. We would see a delay on reaching our goals until next year if that happens. We don't know that yet. It's too much uncertainty over tariffs. Last fall, what we did, if anything, was a little late, but not preemptive. So now he's even admitting what our president has been saying all along. Well, yeah, our bad. We didn't lower interest rates soon enough. That's okay. We all make mistakes, right? I think the current president, has been saying that for quite a while. If you've watched the news at all, you've seen the back and forth, right? He's actually said it publicly. Last fall, what we did, if anything, was a little late. Oops. Anyway, it is what it is, right? So again, if you're not an experienced trader, you should not be trading at all. You should be sitting on your hands. I'm an experienced trader and I'm not trading. I quit trading before 1 o'clock today because I had a good day and I didn't want to give it back, right? Agriculture sectors are already shut down for the day, by the way, so they're not even tradable. They quit trading around 2:30ish, 2:15, depending which ones you're in, right? So normally gold doesn't move that much this time of the day, but it is because of the federal chairman speaking. So nothing else. So he should be about done talking by now. He's just taking questions. Comments now are responses to questions that he's getting from reporters. So this is a very important event in the trading in the financial world. You should always be aware when these economic things happen. You get caught in a trade if you weren't aware and you wonder what the heck just happened. Well, fortunately, nothing really happened because it came in as expected. Powell started talking and the markets went up. And now people are starting to take profits and it's dropping down. Because I don't really see anything in that last statement that's groundbreaking that he hasn't already said before, other than they may have to wait till next year to lower interest rates instead of July. But again, he did back that up on the other side of his mouth by saying, it's too soon to tell. Calm, please. All right. Questions. LE Main is the cattle ticker. Yep. HE Main is piggies. I like trading piggies. That was fun today. Made money trading piggies today. Yeah. Some members made money trading cattle today. And some people made money trading oil, soybean oil. Unfortunately, I don't have a sound for that other than a crushing sound. I don't know. All right. So anyhow, let's take a look, see here again. Well, am I going to enter any of these trades? Yeah, I could have played these to the downside. I could have got that break and hold, but I was yakking and wasn't paying attention. Exactly why I don't trade with my real money this time of the day. Oil still continues to drop. It's hitting the $58 mark almost now. Actually hit 57.81 today. Whew. How do I know that? Because my little indicator that we have, our new 3.0 indicators from Coach as part of your paid membership, $57.81. It's right here on that indicator. Also has star ratings. Everything's to the red side. Fed chairman says, another statement. We haven't faced questions over 2 goals and attention in a long time. We have to keep The two goals, again, are keeping the people at work and at the same time reducing inflation. We haven't had to deal with that for a long time. We have to keep in our thinking now. In other words, stay the cause. There are cases which rate cuts would be appropriate this year. I can't. Oh, that's why it dropped right here. It is. Listen to these words. I can't confidently say that I know the appropriate rate path. President Trump calling for rate cuts doesn't affect our job at all. My gut tells me that uncertainty is extremely elevated. Downside risks have increased. Risk of higher unemployment and higher inflation have risen, but just not yet in the data. So he just gave a little old F you to the president. You don't care what he says. A little dig there. I mean, the president's been bad-mouthing him forever. But anyway, see the little, he stays, the Fed chairman tries to stay away from the politics, and he does. But they don't know. In other words, he's saying even though the president wants the rates cut and he wants them cut now, it's their opinion at the Fed that now is not the time. And there is a reason that the Fed is a separate entity of the government. The president can appoint the Fed chairman and does appoint the Fed chairman, who then gets confirmed by the Senate, but he cannot fire the Fed chairman. Okay, there you go. Why is that? That way, the president of the United States, and I'm not just talking about our current one, all of the ones, ever since they instituted this in the early 80s, that way they can't control the interest rates, right? You get one guy in there who doesn't know anything about business and says, oh, we're going to cut the rates 2% today, right? Not really knowing what's going on against the advice of the financial advisors and government, right? So there's a reason. That's a reason. It's a protection, right? Kind of thing. Whether you agree with that, doesn't matter. That's just the way it is, right? So you've heard the president ask for his resignation multiple times, and he said, nah, thank you. I'll just go ahead and serve my term through May of next year. How about that? Oh, I think it's funny, kind of hilarious myself. So anyway, why do they do that? Why do presidents, and I'm not talking just about our current, why do they go publicly say things like that? Because when everything goes bad, because they know they're right, well, they can say, see, I told you so, right? You guys might listen to me. So anyway, so we can make money as the market reacts. So we got the currencies worldwide are taking in this news. No big deal there either. I mean, there's a pullback, but it is the end of the day. We're getting ready to power hour. Of course, oil's just been going down all day. It's just getting hammered. Below $60 is not good for oil. It's good if you're going short on oil, because now you're making all kinds of money. So would I trade the ES? Yeah, I would right now. I mean, up here was where I should have got in. This is where I would have got in. And now it's come down here to this level here, and back down to the daily open. And now it's bouncing around. So can I play it to the upside? Oh, I could, but I got all these indicators in my road. Got these key levels right here it has to fight through. I got VWAP and the 200 up here that it has to get through, right? I mean, I can turn some of this stuff off. I'm leaving everything on my thing right now just so people can see what it can do. I will cut that down there. It's a little bit clearer view, right? I can see right here, got levels here, and to the downside. But without having my indicators, I don't have anything to bounce on. All right. Chairman says the right thing to do is to wait for further clarity. The economy is doing fine. Exactly. Everybody's freaking out, right? The businesses are still making their widgets, right? They didn't raise the interest rates or anything like that that's going to cause a business not to keep making their widgets, right? It's the imports and exports is where the money's at. Countries wanting to import in here, right? We have to pay that if we want their stuff. And if you think about it, most of the stuff we get, we really don't need anyway, right? Who needs another pair of tennis shoes? I mean, unless you don't have any tennis shoes, do you really need another pair? I know I can go in my closet. I can tell you my wife don't need another pair, right? Neither do I, as far as that goes. Do I need another new suit? No, right? A lot of things we want that we don't really need. It comes right down to it. If you got to cut costs, you won't go buying those things, right? And that's the whole point. So to keep things, just like a country that puts high import tariffs on us. They don't want our stuff in their country, right? It works both ways. We don't want stuff. Well, some countries don't want our stuff either. So that's why you raise them up, and that stops them gives them less incentive to doing it, because if we have somebody here who wants to buy a bunch of tennis shoes, well, they got to be willing to pay that extra import fee out of their own pocket. They got two choices. I either eat that fee or I pass it on to my customer. Well, you think the customers are going to be happy? Nope. Anyway, he says, our policies are highly restrictive. Businesses and households are very broadly concerned. Yes, we are. We don't want to have to pay more for our stuff that we buy at Walmart and a dollar store and Amazon. Postponing decisions. If nothing happens to alleviate these concerns, we expect that to show up in data in the next weeks and months. Uncertainty can show up in weaker economic data. The quarterly wasn't beyond the confines of our. So again, he's just talking there, saying the same thing again. So anyway, it's a wait and see. We want to see what the tariffs are going to be, and they're not even, the final tariffs have not even been decided yet. We're in talks with other countries. We're thinking about talking to other countries, yada, yada, yada. Nothing is until it's in writing. We don't believe it. Neither does the Fed. So can't make any decision. You can't form a policy on something that hasn't happened yet, right? Well, the tariffs may be this amount. Well, maybe they won't be, right? How are you going to make a policy on something that hasn't happened yet, right? So it's the way it works. Just like a business, they got to make decisions, right? We have a lot of members in here that are also business owners. They got to make decisions based on the legit data that's in front of them, right? So they don't go making decisions based on, well, it could be, right? So, and look at the ES breaking out through there. So I'm going to turn my thingamajigger back on here. Oh, wait, turn it off here. So many ways to do the same thing. All right, there's my regression channel, right? Now, is it broken hold above that regression channel yet? It's broke, but it hasn't held. And the reason I'm not going to enter this trade, because I got to clearly have a gold level right here. I'm expecting it to pause, if not pull back right there. And it's there already. May not actually touch that. And well, you'll look at that. What can I say, right? Look at that.
You are watching a master at work.
That's why I didn't enter that trade, because I have a line on my chart that I drew that I determined to be a gold level. Matter of fact, I think we even talked about that. Oh, good thing I had that alarm set. My TikTok puzzle thing popped up. All right, let me see here. TikTok, do a little puzzle thing. Never get it right the first time. Come on. Boy, is this thing touchy. Come on, Grandpa, get the puzzle done. Hooray, success that time. All right. So look what happened. Did I call this out right here, this gold level right there? Did I? Aren't you impressed, paid members? Are you impressed or what? Right? Nobody? Did impress
Just out of
nobody?
curiosity, what's the level that you've got? I want to see if mine's close.
I'm impressed, Mark.
56.50. Thanks, Dawn. 56.50 on ES.
Yeah, mine's at 56.49.
Yeah. Mine's accurate. Yours isn't.
I would have to say so.
No. I mean, just as close to yours as is mine. Matter of fact, yours is probably be a hair better, actually. I just went back the other day and slapped some lines on there.
Yeah, I couldn't decide whether or not to catch the wicks or move it up on some bodies, so I left it at the wicks.
Yeah. It's all right. I was aware it's in that neighborhood, right? So I knew to watch for it and not enter the trade until I saw what happened. And it actually probably did hit it actually hit the 49, the wick, and pulled back. So your line is probably better. And because of that, because it proved that that's where it stopped, I am going to move that back $1. There we go. That easy. Boom. Now I got it there. Look at that. Look at them wicks touch that line. See how pretty that is? All I did was adjust it. And that's one of the things you can do if you consistently see things pulling back right before it hits. Maybe your line needs tweaked a little bit. And that's what I just did. That easy. So until I see it break and hold above this line, I ain't falling for that. You are not going to sucker me into that. To the downside, now I got VWAP and the 200 again. So now it's really trapped. It's trapped between my gold level and the major things here. So it's got a choice. You're going to go down or you're going to just stay here the rest of the day, right? Be easier if you go up. It's less room to travel. It'd be better for me if you did that, right? But It's not. Let's take a look at the Russell. Maybe that'd be better. Oh, look, the Russell's same way. I got VWAP and the 200 there together. Does any of them not have that? What about the Dow? Let's take a look at the Dow. Where's the indicators on the Dow? I don't know. Well, I got a line
They look
there.
identical.
Yeah, they are. All right. Well, it is what it is, right? VWAP's down here, though. The 200's down here. Actually, the Dow would be a less restrictive play to the upside. I do have my regression channel line right here, though. So, but they're stopping at the same place. Now, I don't have this charted out, so I don't even have a line there. But I bet if I pop one right there where them two wicks touched, then I can go back and probably see it hit right there. Look at that. Look at all those lined up right on that line. Look at that. Is that not? Tell me those candles don't know where the historical buyers and sellers know where they're at. That's why it stops there, right?
What I'm
Pauses.
really impressed with the coach's indicators. You don't have that charted out. However, look what they did for you.
Right there. Bang. Right?
Yep.
Impressive, is it not?
It is,
Get
Mark.
that with your paid memberships. By the way, today, and I believe it's today only, Coach is offering the premium membership, which is our level entry to get in the door. It's normally $125 a month. He is offering a lifetime premium membership, which gets you live training starting at 8:45 on a live Zoom call, 8:45 to 4 p.m. daily. And you can get training there. It is our entry level. So there's some things like these trading indicators do not come with that, but you can get that for a one-time payment of $750. Coach does have or did have, I don't know how many currently are available, but beginning earlier today, there was 10 diamond memberships left at the $5,000 mark. So that is still in effect. If you think you missed out yesterday on that, he is withdrawing these things here shortly. So same thing, promo codes. Doug earlier posted in the YouTube live chat all those promotional codes. To go over to our website, americandreamtrading.com, and scroll down about halfway on our landing page, and you'll see links to our free Discord and our membership information in there. So what else we got going on over here? Questions. People don't mind. Did I answer every question you people have ever had since joining this program? Am I that good? Do you have no questions today? Yeah, I don't know. You don't have any today. What's going on? Well, it looks like Fed here must be pretty much done talking. I don't see more news blurbs popping up on my news feed, and I've heard enough anyway, so there's no big deal on that. All right, so I'll quit looking at that for other things, and we'll answer your questions. Now, let's look for a trade. Let's see what oil's already to the downside. The volume drops off like crazy. So is it on currencies. I really don't want to play them, so I'm just going to find one here. On the indices, as gold's quit jumping around, and it's at a double bottom right now. Can I play that to the upside? I can, but it's just ugly looking right now. Look how ugly that is. Now, what do you see here? What can you identify by looking at gold right now? Do you see how these all came up here to a certain level? Do you see how these all came down here to a certain level, right? What would you call that? What am I looking for?
Channeling.
There
Channel.
you go. A channel. There you go. So we could channel trade, right? Let me make this really big. Let me make it dash so that you can see it. There's would you say that's pretty close to being an upper part of the channel, right? Overall, right? I can go down here to these wicks down here, kind of do the same thing. Now I have an upper and lower level channel, right? As this comes down and bounces, not exactly hit it every time, but as this comes down and bounces off, goes back up, went up to the top part of the channel, rejected, bounced off. Now, the only thing I don't like about this, and we had the same situation the other day, what's in the center of that channel? I'll be darned if it ain't there again today. VWAP into 200. This is a tough spot. So can I tighten up my channel? Say, well, I won't trade it that way. I'll trade it up to that area. I can do that, right? Tighten my channel up a little bit. Does that still work? Yeah, because as you see, it's been hitting VWAP into 200. So that's actually, now that I look at it, even a better definition of that channel. So now I can play these bounces as they go up and down. Will it continue to do that? I don't know. It's power hour now. The day's about over. People are exhausted from all this garbage that's been going on today, right? So could I make a play to the upside? Yeah, I could. Would I be very confident in that trade? Not with this mess here that I'm seeing, right? Can I still make some money here to the upside? Since I made my trade widget, I'll just go like missed it. I'll just do this. I'm in the trade now. I missed the entry, unfortunately, right? I can put my stop loss down here in case it breaks below the channel, right? And see if it goes up. I wanted to enter down here when it was on the line still, but I fumbled around and missed it, but I clicked the button anyway just for the heck of it. So the idea here is you play the ping pong back and forth, right? Now, would I be trading this time of day on FOMC? No, I quit trading before 1 today, right? I just was going to try to show you that it is possible. And you can see the volumes kind of died out here, right? So how high would this go? Well, right now this 9 EMA indicator got really heavy real quick. You see it was up here. Look how far it dropped now. So that's going to help. That's going to restrict some of the upward movement. So if that happens to move at all where I can get green on this trade, I'll just take it. There it is, $200, just locked it in that quick. How hard was that, right? Now I wanted to get in down here and hoped it ran up, and now the 9's. Look, I see how that went up in respect to the 9. Now this channel trade ain't so great because everything's tightening up because the 9 EMA, the averages have caught up to it. So now it's really restrictive. Could even force it down lower into the next level, right? So will I keep trading this? No, because now I have a breakout, right? I have a potential here for this thing to break out. If you look here, right, there's a candle there, up there, down to here, right? I can draw a trend here for visual purposes, right? There's that way, and then I can draw one. I have to see here what we got going on here, right? Let me see. Yeah, we got basically crossed here, right? Same thing, right? There's where I'll adjust this down a little bit here. Grab this down. I'm going to use the body of the candles. So now I'm in a kind of narrow range for that to break through to the downside. Actually, most of them wicks are down where I had it originally. So now I have a little wedge shape there. You know, it's either going to break on through the other side here. It's got to go through above this line, or I hopefully will get a break to the downside. There's not as much room for movements for breakouts now. So this could go either way, right? Do I do this? Do I draw? I used to draw these all the time, and I just quit doing it. Why? Because I got coaches indicators, and my visualization of what's on the chart is better also, right? We have a lot of members that really fixate on these, descending wedges, ascending wedges, and all that stuff. I personally, do I know it's there subconsciously? Probably, but do I say, oh, there's an ascending wedge? No. Oh, look, there's a cup and handle. Do I say that to myself? No, not really. But just see how this narrow range is in there, right? So it's trapped in a box. It's got to go one way or the other or continue to stay this way, right? So it's in a tough spot. The 9 is even getting tighter and tighter on it, right? So we could sit here and watch this for a breakout. This is gold, so I'm not too worried about it because the volume drops this time of the day. So I'm not really interested in playing that to start with. Okay. So I'm going to go back where we always go, the indices, right? And what happened there? Broke through while I was away. Well, it's got to go above my gold level right here, right? That's my gold level, right? So it's right there. I know these other colors are in the road here, but there's also a regression channel right above it, the top of my regression channel, this green line. So that's not good either. So, I mean, I'll go ahead and if this can break and hold it. It'll probably be at that channel, top of that channel anyway. So that's my game plan for up. I don't have one for down because it's got to go through all this stuff. Will it drop and sell off and drop? It could. Power hour, right? What about the Dow? Well, look, it's doing the same thing. There's my regression channel line right here, right? Do that. Same thing. It's above my indicators. This is a better one. I'm more confident on the movement, but it's just mirroring the other ones. I got to break above my level here. I got a critical level there and the top of the regression. So by the time that breaks and holds above my critical level, it'll be above that if it was doing that, right? So again, just kind of ugly looking right now. So other than that, that's about it. It's just dead. And these are the days you just sit on your hands. There's no reason to get in this trade and try to squeeze a few pennies. Could I? Yeah, probably could. But why? Why risk? Oh, oops, went the other way on me, right? Why do I want to do that to myself? Okay. I guarantee you, if I was sitting here, my wife was sitting here next to me, not that she would know what I'm doing here, but she can see candles going up and down. Well, weren't you going the other way? Yeah. Well, why are you losing money? So therefore, don't lose money, right? Now, here we go, break and hold. If it can go below this 200, I might jump into it for a quick play to the downside, quick scalp, right? It's just indecision. I don't know what to do. There's the break of that, and I want to see the break of the 55, which it will by the time I get my confirmation candle, if it's going to. It may very likely just take right here to 55 and bounce up. And the only other place I have to worry about is right here. So by the time I get my confirmation candle, it'll be right there. And I'll be sitting there waiting for it to see what it wants to do, which it probably will just bounce right back up again. But we'll see. Power hour, sometimes it's, especially you get a large influx of volume, you could blow right through some of these things. But the ATR on this is normal, so there's no big change on the average true range on this, right? You still have more sellers than you do buyers. Volume's okay. It's been pretty steady all day. As you can look across, had a couple spikes through the day, but it's pretty much stayed on average volume. It's slightly lower. Well, it's considerably lower on this time period, but it's been pretty even throughout the day. Nothing really super high or super low. Been average. So anyway, thought we would do that. So we'll sit here and wait, see if this is going to come down or not. If it stays below this 200, if it breaks above that, well, I'm done. I ain't looking at it anymore. I have had it, right? So there it is. Don't know what to do, right? So that's how that works. Look at my L2 here. Dun, dun, dun. Gotta get the right one on there. Yes, Maine. Got a big wall at 61, which is the upside, which is, or 41. Or was it 41? 656 must have been 41. Seen a one there somewhere. And that would be right there, pretty much where that line's at, right where it's approaching now. And I'd have to break that down. And then I might get some movement to the upside. We'll see what happens here. Much in the L2. Not impressive at all. All the orders about the same size. No huge walls there. Now, if it gets above VWAP, I might do a quick play on quickie scalp. See what happens. Let's see right here. Make a quick dollar if this pops a little bit here above VWAP. Normally, I wouldn't enter here at VWAP because it's not broke away, right? It acts like a big magnet. See what it's doing? I was just trying to get a little tiny pop there. But I could see on the L2, there's nothing there to really convince me it's going to go up. But I thought maybe I'd get a little quick pop, high risk trade. And there we go. $500, bang, that quick. And that break above VWAP. Is it going to keep going up? Can I do this again? I'll wait till see if it wants to go. If it goes above this line right here, my level, I'll do a quick pop on that and get in and out, right? But this is not a normal way to trade, right? So you just gotta know some of these things, levels. That is a high risk trade. I would not recommend anybody doing it because VWAP is the strongest magnet you got on there, right? See how it wants to pull it right back down? And I'm looking at the L2 over here. No, it's just nothing. All these orders are about the same. There's no great big one. If there was, I probably missed it. And it doesn't even want to get much above 42. I looked away. What happened there? Okay. Let me see what happens here. Matter of fact, I'm just going to use this button over here. She's just scalp button. Is it going to pop up above that there or not? Don't know. Let's see what happens. If not, we're going to move on. Well, there's nothing to move on to, really, quite honest with you. Right? So,
Mark, there's a comment in Zoom chat.
Okay.
6J just broke double bottom.
Thank you. That's currency, the Japanese yen. It's broke the double bottom. There is, I would guess,
Some genius putting that out.
Yep. There we go. Again, the only reason I'm not excited about this, even though it is a money-making opportunity, it's just not a whole lot of volume right now. But who am I to take it? Who not to want to do that? In the end, is how much? $1,600 contract. All right. Let's see here. Limit order. I don't want a limit order. I don't have any lines on right here at the low. What do I got over here? Oh, looky. Look at see how you got to look behind you. Look at that over there. That little sneaky thing. I'm about to jump in there that I ate my lunch. All right. Good thing I didn't. It's just this is why you don't chase call outs, right? Now he didn't tell me to go buy it. He just called it out. Hey, take a look at it. Well, I took a look at it. All right. Fortunately, I scrolled backward and I could see we got a little double bottom here, right? Did you catch that? I looked right back. Where'd it go? Where's it at? Right there it is. See how it all ran right there? Look at that. Will you look at that? Oh my goodness. You know what?
You are watching a master at work.
There you go. That's how fast, that's all it takes to do that, right? Take a bigger view. Now, if it breaks but holds below this, yeah, I'll be interested. I need the yen. What's this? 6J. 6J, man. All right. Got a wall at 800. Where's 800 at? 800's down here. Oh, that'd be some money right there. It wants to pull down to your out rate. Right there. It's not, doesn't look like much, does it? Does it look exciting? Nope, doesn't look exciting at all. But it wants to pull down to that line, that little yellow line. Oh, it definitely does. It definitely wants to pull there. Mark's going to take a L2 run here and see what happens here, right? There you go. Let's, oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Where's 800 at? Right there.
800 is a double bottom, Mark.
I got my line in the wrong place. Yep. But it's higher than what it is now. I just misjudged where it was at. It's not that much room. It's okay. I can get a couple bucks out. See, now this is the problem with coming down. See that? I misjudged where that was at. I didn't get my line in the right place. The wick almost came down. Now, look how much money I'm out that fast, right? Down $2,000. It still wanted to come down to that 800. Where'd that order go? That order is no longer visible. It's all right.
Disappeared.
We'll see what happens here. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off, take the $2,800 loss, see if I get a bounce off the 9. See what happens here. Because that order's down there, and now it's at 840. Where's 840 at? Right here. To the bottom, basically the bottom of that candle there. All right, come on. Oh, you dog. You better go grab that order. It's down there. See, this is the thing. You know, it is. It's at 860. 860. Yeah, they moved the order up. That ain't good for me. Uh-oh. It's all right. Still holding there. I'll see if it pulls back. There's a bigly order down there that it wants to pull back in. Now somebody threw one at 690 in between. So we're going to sit here. Come on. I know you want to go there. I can see it. I can tell it wants to go there. All right. Now I'm back to break even on this. Come on. Get on down there. Get on down the road. Come on. Get down to that 680. Come on. You're just a hair off. Let's go. Get down there. 840. I'm reading the L2. Right there's a big order. See that 840 over there? Now I'm up $187. Woohoo. All right. I need to pull more than that. There you go. There's a red candle. Come on. Get down there. Oh, 820's popped up now. That's even better for this trade. There we go. Well, remember, I lost $2,800 on the previous trade. Am I trying to get that back? No. Once it's gone, it's gone. You don't think about it no more. Right? So you just move on to the next trade and accept what you had, rip the Band-Aid off. Now this thing's getting squirrely here. I want that 98.20. Come on, big order there. You want it? Let's go. Maybe my line I put on there is stopping it. Where's Where the heck's that line here? What is that line? Ain't that moving? Lock that line? What is that line? Whatever. I'm up 1125, 1300. All right, 820 is 800 now. Oh, it wants to go below that white line now. Come on. Let's get down there. I'm reading the L2. I was convinced that's where it wanted to go. It's just they threw in some orders to play with my emotions. Try to get me all upset, but you got to keep your head on, right? All right? All right? Come on. Get down there. 800. You see right here on the L2, 237. There's one at 810, which is 2 walls. People up here, why would I pay 840 when I can pay 810 for the same product or 800 for the same product, right? Why wouldn't I do it? Now, the problem is this is currency. The volume drops off substantially on currency at this time. So to get the movement that I would like it to have, I need more volume. Well, guess what? It's going on 321. The volume is just not there, right? I mean, it doesn't mean it can't get there. It's just not going to get there very good. It's still at 810. Them still orders are in there. They haven't pulled it. So this is where patience comes in. I mean, I'm into profit. If I see something them orders pull out of there, then I'll just take what I can get, right? And that one order disappeared on me. Right, here we go. So 810 is still there. 810, 135 contracts. 810 right there. See that? 810. That's what I'm looking at. Watching that to make sure that stays there and doesn't change because people will get nervous. This is sitting here way too long. I don't even like how long this is sitting here. I might, if I could get another little pop, I might just go ahead and take my profit. I'm going to take that $1,300. At least I locked into that. Can I re-enter? Yep, I can. But I want to see here. 810. See, it's not dropping anymore. So the 800 is also still there. Them orders have not moved from there. They are still there. All right. So I'm still confident that this will come down as long as I can get the volume to pull it and these people start selling off. You see the 810 order, 135. There's this 805 at wherever it went. 800, 137. Again, I should never jump back in this anyway. There's no volume here. Without volume, volume's the fire, right? Fuels the flames. Just because them orders are there, you got to have somebody willing to buy them. And if there's nobody to buy them there, that means there's no volume to buy it. So, there you go, right? Volume's 245. There's more buyers than there is sellers on the market. So I'm going to get out of this. If this turns green, I ain't going to keep playing this game all day. Volume's really dropping on this. So I'm reading the bid side to the downside. I want to see them numbers get smaller. I'm watching the bottom down here. I'm watching my 2 walls right here that it wants to pull down to. Well, right. Again, would you want to pay 840 for something when you can only have to pay 810 or 800, right? If it was $800, those are micro pennies. But, right. So, yeah, this is not good here. Anyway, I'm going to see what this candle does. After this, I'm done. If I have to take a loss, then I'll take a loss. If this doesn't show downward movement, right? Initially got suckered in right here, but that order's still there at that 800, right? And the 810, which is right there. It wants to come down to that white line, which is where it wicked out at the last time. Do I sit here and wait on it? Whatever. I'm down $300 right now on this, right? So I have to decide what I want to do. So it ain't all just getting in and out of a trade in seconds. Sometimes you got to wait and be patient, right? I'm running out of patience, I can tell you that, and I'm not even a doctor. Come on, 810. Let's go. We ain't got all day. Got a show to do here. Still hanging there, though, right? Still hanging below the 9. Here's how we do it. All right, now we're getting some upward movement, which is downward movement in price on the L2. 810's moving up the ladder, but they keep throwing orders in up at the top. Jeez.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Yes. Oh, this ain't good. Come on, get back down there. Them orders are still there. And now they threw one at 840, which is right where I got in at. Now they're starting to, the buyers are starting to panic. They're not getting what they want to the downside. So now they're sliding their orders around. Yep. Let's see right here. This is, if this breathes up a hair more, I'm out. I'm just going to have to take the loss. Right? So things don't always go your way. You got last chance here to break out. And I don't like this little line that's forming right here. I'm getting out. I'm done with that. See, I took a $2,000 loss. So I was down 2,000 or what, 2,800 on the first trade. Got about half of that back. And then I just added another $2,000 loss on top of that. So that was not a good trade. Well, but I had a 30% success rate. All right. Okay. Well, I'm still down $4,000. Right. So big deal. I had one good trade out of that. Right. And just what the main reason was lack of volume. There wasn't enough people there to buy that. And that's why I don't like trading currencies this time. But I went against my own wisdom and ignored that and decided to trade it anyway. So those playing at home, do you see why you don't do those things, right? Now, this is a paper trading account. Don't feel bad for me. This is not real money. But did you see me trying to treat it like real money? Was I happy about it? Nope. So I still trade it. And you can see I'm down. This wasn't at zero when I started, but I'm down 4,200. I think 200 of that was already on there. But paper trading, right? It's not real, but you should treat it as such. So anyway, that's why I don't play.
YM is taking a big pull. YM.
Aren't you the same guy who told me to go look at the yen?
Yeah, but I scalped and made some money.
He's
I think Doug
he's
made
got
some-
like 12 charts up and he's staring at all of them.
Check out YM.
All right. Again, did you hear him say, go buy that? No, he never anytime said that. He's just calling out something he's seen, which is a good downward movement. Now, my entry was up here, break and hold up here. So I'm already late to the game. I'm at a double bottom here. Now, this is the indices. I really want to see it come down here, this London session low, before I even think about entering this. Now, can I do a quickie scalp? Yeah, I could, but I won't. All right. I want to wait patiently for that. Running out of time a day. Volume. Now it's on a second red EWO, which tells me I should enter it right now. However, I'm concerned about this double bottom here. So I'm going to wait. Last time it touched it, what happened? It bounced, right? So, and it being power hour, pretty much all the rules are out, even though it still works. So don't get me wrong. But anyway, what else we got? Any questions? Where's everybody at? Why aren't you asking questions today? What's going on here? Anyway, you guys don't have any. I'll just keep doing this. Now, what am I on? I'm on YM, right? What's YM look like? The YM. Yeah, I ain't interested in this either. All the contracts are the same size. There's no walls at all there to help me make a decision, predictive decision on the downside. Oh, there's one to the downside there, 11. This does have a lot of volume. The L2 is moving rapidly. Wants to come down to 40.042, which is not very far. It's just right down below where it's at now. So there ain't really anything that exciting there going on either. When all these contracts are the same size, these orders, there's a wall right there, what I already said, 42, which is just where it's at right now. Here comes my decision point here. But I don't have any contracts that's real large walls that want to pull it up or pull it down right now. They're all just pretty standard contract sizes. So what my determining factor is going to be is a break and hold below this yellow line right here. So I made these yellow so you guys could see it better. But again, TikTok, if you want a better view, you want full screen view, head on over there to YouTube. All right. And you'll see my coach's indicators gives us a ranking. This is now 6-star rank. That gives you the highs and lows. It gives you the rankings of your watch list. Gives you the buying volume in real time, selling in volume, 2-minute ATR, 1 minute. Again, you can adjust these to what you want. I chose to show 1 minute and a 2-minute. You can show those ATRs in any time frame you want. It's all fully customizable, even by colors. So, ATR on this is about 40. Oops, not 140. On a, oh wait, I'm on a 2-minute candle. 60. Ooh, that's volatile. A lot of money. So, all right. How much is YM a contract? YM is about 600. Ooh, 600? Okay, I'll buy twice as many of them. Let's go ahead and go with 40. All right. What's 4 times 6? 24? All right, we'll go with that. That's a nice little round. I can go higher, but we'll just go with 24,000. So anyway, we'll go with that, see what happens. Now that's on an outdated chart. I got to update my charts. They keep changing things. Oh wait. Oh yeah, it's after 3. So the margin rates have returned back to their normal rates. So, all right. Do you trade NQ or S&P more? I do S&P. Doug's answered also. Yeah, I'm kind of hang out with the S&P ES. We have some that like NQ. We have others that love the Russell. I like the Russell too. We have a couple that really like trading this Dow that you see on my screen right now. It's all whatever you like, right? I like ES. I was afraid of it before until I learned how to trade it. Got lines on my charts and learned how it moved, lives and breathes, and I do pretty well on it now. Is it volatile? Yeah, but it's not overly volatile. It's less volatile than the Qs are, NQ. That's one you should stay away from if you don't know what you're doing.
Moves really fast.
Yes, it does. The Dow, let's get an ATR 60. What does on a 2-minute? What does ES is only 25. So it's
how do you
less
like
than
that new
half the
ATR,
volatility.
Mark?
What's that?
How do you like that new ATR?
Oh, I love it.
Isn't that
I love
awesome?
it. Yeah, you ain't got to do the math in your head no more.
Yep.
Well, each one is, there's 4 ticks to a point and on the indices, and it's moving an average of this. How many ticks is that, right? Okay, well, now I got it. So I just seen a little mistake I had here when I did this. I got 2 1-minutes in there. I need to fix that. And that's very easy. I go in here, go into my settings, and I can scroll down here somewhere. Right here. That's that one. Where's the other one at? Style. Oh, I know what it is. This should be a 2-minute. The other one was a 1-minute. Change that to 2-minute. Click OK. Now I got a 1-minute and a 2-minute ATR. There you go. See how easy that is? Still in beta, this part of it. Be released to the futures members here shortly. Once we do some more thorough testing on it, trying to find things that may not work quite as we like. Anyway, there's YM just sitting there again, consolidating. Again, running out of steam. Nobody's excited. It's been kind of a slugfest this week, last week and a half, where the 2 or 3 weeks prior to that was chaos, high volatility, up and down like crazy, right? So, well, let's go with the NQ here. Let me go trade, see what that's doing. Let's get something that's acting crazy, see what we can do with that. Ooh, NASDAQ is currently at on a 2-minute candle, 145 ticks. Ooh, 1 minute, it's 100 ticks.
ES trying to break triple bottom.
Oh, don't tease me. What are we doing here? I've already been here. It's got to break through that regression channel.
It's only touched that line like 6 times.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I groaned, because I figured that's what you were talking about. And it's got this regression channel here. So see how all this here just didn't want to break through. Just enough to tease us, right? Come back down. Right there, that line right there, right? See that line, that yellow line? Yeah, sometimes this is what you do. And other times, why waste? You saying, well, you've done all this stuff and you ain't made a dime yet here. You're playing around. Well, yeah. Some days it's just best to walk away. I guarantee you, if I wasn't doing this live right now, I wouldn't be sitting here in front of the computer trying to squeeze pennies out of something, right? But you can do it any time of the day. You just have to get your experience up, just like this. Look how that died. How much you want to bet that The Dow's doing. Look at that. Look where it's dying at. Right. Again, I said I wouldn't do it until it got broken hell below this level right here. And what the heck's the thing done? It's bounced off it 3 times already. Is ES doing the same thing as we speak? Yes, it is. Look at that. Doink, 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 doink. How do you like them sound effects? Wow. So when you get like this, it's just best to just shut the computer off. Call it a day. Take your profits and go home, right? What happens is you end up trying to force trades, make some money on stuff that can't. What's easy? This is easier than that. Yeah, Stinky. Yeah, Bookman. Well, I like that program you're talking about. We just don't use it here. I don't want to pay for it for one thing. I realize it comes free with a certain broker, but I have seen it. I have used it personally. It's just it's like anything else. Once you understand what it's showing you, I'm sure people coming in here, what's all these lines on my chart? What the heck is that mess, right? Don't understand what it is, but once you learn it, right, then it all makes sense. Do I have too many things on here right now? Yeah, I do. I have these on here for a reason, and they're over highlighted more than they should be, and I made the words bigger because I wanted our paid members to be able to see how this works, right? When I get done, these will be back to white and half the size. They'll be like right here. I don't know if you can see it live at home, but this is what the size will be here when I'm done playing around. Just kind of sharing my screen with everybody and just want them to be able to see that, right, type of thing. Can I jump in this trade now? It's going up, Mark. It's breaking and hold above the 9. Yep, as soon as it gets here, right up past this, I will.
Yep, right on top of that gold level.
Yep.
And previous day close and London session low.
Yep. Yeah, I think I'll wait. Can I scalp up to the 200 or past the 55? Yeah, I can. We'll see. I don't know what kind of volume we're getting here. The volume is coming in a little bit at 2234,000 right now. I want to see what it does right here. All right, so you want me to jump in here and show you what happens if you jump in for the break and hold? Okay, there's 55. Now volume may come in and they don't care, right? So I didn't wait for the break and hold of the 55 there. See that?
Big hair don't care.
Don't care. London session, that line was there. Doug said it out loud before it happened, right? Right there. There's a level right here. Did it break and hold above that level? Absolutely not. See how that worked? That's why you wait on the break and hold, or confirmation candle, if that's what you want to call it. I call it both, but all right. What else we got going on here? Anyway, we have those memberships available over on our webpage, AmericanDreamTrading.com. You can get the entry-level lifetime membership, which is our premium membership. It doesn't have everything we have to offer, but it gets you in the door. It gets you training from 8:45 every morning through 4 p.m. On a live Zoom call. It does not include futures. It is its own. It's just stocks and stock options. Does not include a crypto membership. Does not include the futures membership. What does include all those is our diamond membership. You can get for a one-time payment of $5,000. That is our lifetime everything that we have and everything that we may have in the future. And I'm not talking about futures. So that is by far the greatest deal there, that diamond. There was only 10 of them left. I know we sold a couple, but I'm just saying 10 because I don't know the exact number. If it's still available, you'll see it when you go to our website, www.americandreamtrading.com. For those younger than don't have gray hair, americandreamtrading.com. Scroll down about halfway, grab that free Discord while you're at it. Click on the membership links there, and it'll take you right to there, and you can take a look at it. We do have the entry-level premium membership, which is $125 a month, right? Normally, Coach is going to give a lifetime on that. In other words, pay one time, never pay again, right? It's lifetime. For basically it's 6 months worth of monthly payments to buy an annual. Now you got to pay the $750, right? One-time payment. You never have to pay again. You could stay that level for the rest of your life here if that's what you want to do, right? Now, am I breaking and holding above this level again? Well, we'll see, right? So And also, of course, we have all our other memberships, but really, you can get a futures membership for 4,000, lifetime membership, but that's all you get with that is the futures. If you buy that diamond membership for 5,000, $1,000 more, well, doesn't that make better sense? As you get everything, right? So, anyway, I would head on over there. Can you state the London times and Asian times? Yes, the Asian Tokyo market opens up at 8 p.m. Eastern time through, here, I'll just show it to you here. I can show it to you too. Oops. Wrong button. There we go. I'll show it to you visually. It's right here. New York opens from 9:30 to 16:15 each day, Eastern time. London opens at 3 a.m. Eastern time through 11 a.m. Eastern time. And the Tokyo session opens at 8 p.m. Why does that say 7? That ain't right. 12 and 8. It's 20. I got that wrong. Oh, my fault. Anyway, is open from 20 until 4, right? I think these were an hour off, I believe, weren't they? Is it 4? I believe that is right. If I'm not mistaken. So those are the hours it opens. So New York opens at 9:30 Eastern. London session opens at 3 a.m. Eastern. Tokyo session opens up at 8 o'clock Eastern.
Mark, ES is ripping it. Is that because it's close?
Look, I was waiting on that.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Well, it's at the regression channel now. Yeah, that's what I get for. See what happens when you look away? Oh well. Again, it's fake money. It's not like it's real money, right? So, but I wanted to get that break and hold above VWAP. Well, it did break and hold. It just did it all one candle. All right, there I am. I'm up. What'd that say? There's up 4,700. There's 4. There's 3. There's 27. There's 35. I'm taking that. Now I should be ahead of the game, right? Sort of, right? Go back up here. Let's jump back in. Let's see what this is going to do. Is it going to break and hold above this regression channel? I should wait for the break and hold, right? Now there's probably going to be a 50% pullback. Let me show that. Oh, it didn't do it. Wow. Well, it hasn't done it yet. Let's put it that way, right? There's $6,200 profit. I'll go ahead and take that. I don't care, right? Let's take that while we're at it, right? If I got a trade open somewhere, this thing says I got $1,200 in unrealized gains. Do I have an open trade? No, it just hasn't. Why? I guess that's my total losses. I don't know. What happened? Now I have no. What happened? What did I do? Blank that out by accident? Now it says I have nothing. And it said 7,000, whatever it said there. I don't know. I bumped a button or something. Cleared it out. I don't know. It's all right. It's not real money. Right? So, all right. So, there we go. So, is this a big surge to the upside with 15 minutes left in the market? This is why it's volatile. This can easily go back down just as fast as its thing shot up there, right? See how it pulled back already since I'm down 700 now, just from where I entered at. Very, very, very volatile, right? So, again, if that goes green, I'll just get out of it. I don't care, right? And look at that. Stop me out. That's what your stop is for, right? See how that worked? Ta-da. Usually when you get these big candles like this, you'll get a 50% retracement. Didn't happen in this case. It is now, but it didn't happen true to fashion. Let's put it that way. 2 big gamma candles, right? Even though we don't have gamma in futures, generally the next candle or the same candle will even pull back halfway from where it is. Now this one is coming down about a halfway mark of where it was at, but that wouldn't be a true retracement, but it is retracing, right? So I can let this get down here to my gold level if I want to re-enter the bounce on that, right? So this is the volatility that you see during power hour, right? Going up and down and all that and all around. So there we go. Now I'm up 6,000. There we go. Let's see if this goes up higher. I'm going to take block into profit if this pops up through that regression channel. Now I'm up 8,000. Now I'm up 6. See how fast that moves, right? Could I went in with more contracts? Yeah. I'll take 7,500. How's that? All right. Let me take. Let's go 30 because that's what I would normally trade anyway at this time, right? But right? Stuck right there at that regression channel. Will it break and hold above that? Don't know. So, this is not the time of day to be doing this thing. This is how you wreck your account. That thing can pull back on you so far. And I don't want to give you the impression this is how I trade. Now, I do trade scalp candles. I do that from time to time. The best thing is to stay in. What if I had got in? Of course, I missed it. I was looking at something else. But had I got in on this, I could have got in and just rode it up there to the top. But I looked away, missed that opportunity. So, what's our 6J doing? Oh, look at that. Right back down to where it was at to start with when I was in it. Look at that. It wanted it. I told you it wanted it. Just took an hour to get there. Just a level, just a natural level it wants to get to. That's all that is. Right? So, anyhow. Yep. See how the currency just kind of just doesn't have anything in it, right? What about the euro? Man, look at the euro dumping. Another currency. That's the Europeans' money. It's like 10 or 12 countries that use the euro. Germany being the largest. That's what they use for their currency. And what else we got? We got the Dow. Dow's just as chaotic. You can see it matched the ES at that time, right? And the NASDAQ. It's identical to everyone else. So they're all pretty much 2 candles up, 2 candles down, following the same path. So, anyhow, that's all there is to it. Anybody else got any questions here today? Hello? Book back is worth, yeah, it is. It's like any other indicating program. It's pretty cool. It's very expensive. If the one broker does provide it as part of their membership, in opening an account with them. But, there's trade-offs involved, right? Even if it's free, nothing's ever free, right? So there you go, EC, right? If it was only, right? Well, if you had real money, you would be in there at this time. So look at it that way. Right. I want to remember scalped on paper trading. Did very well on that. Quick scalp on the S&P 500.
I got a question, Mark.
What's your question, Mark? That's what comes
The
at the end of a
question mark
sentence.
is, are you having a good afternoon?
I haven't traded real money since before 1 o'clock. Yes, I had a very good day today. I made a little over 20. What did I make? A little over 25,000 a day. So I had a good
Just a
day
little
today.
over. Okay.
So, but I haven't traded. We got out of the market because of the FOMC. I know better, right? Did it do anything? No, it was pretty much a nothing burger, right? Now it has gone up and down and all around, but I mean, obviously I have a live broadcast to do, so I am here, but normally I wouldn't be. I would care less what
Sure.
happens. I'm not
Well,
going to
that's
trade
good
it.
to hear.
Yeah, because it's,
I had another question about what seems to be as fun to trade and close to as lucrative as ES, that is less expensive initially up front for people that maybe don't want to have to hold a couple thousand in their account to get involved or something like that.
well, yes, if you're trading micros, you don't have to have a couple thousand. You can get a micros for, well, I don't know what the micro price is
$144 right
today.
now.
What is it now?
$144
Yeah,
today.
that sounds right. So,
Well, with toss, they don't let you do anything unless you put 1,500 on the table.
right, that's broker dependent. Yeah, just
Yeah.
like Weeble's 500 minimum. You just start open your account. So other brokers have no minimums, right? So yeah, it does vary by broker. You say that it takes 1,500 with TOS.
Yeah, to
Okay.
to just start doing any futures. And like gold, you have to have 1980 in your account to start trading gold futures
Yeah.
on the micros.
Yeah, gold is like, what is gold? Gold is 2,400 during the open market. Micros are like 400, 500. So, yeah, I mean,
So
it's
it
just
is
you
a
can only
little better.
trade what you have in your account, right? So,
A little better with Webull, I see.
yeah, and Weeble's not the least expensive on their margins, but again, the price you see doesn't tell the whole story, right? Because you may, well, look how much cheaper they are. Well, what's their fees, right?
Right.
those kind of things. So you have to look at the whole picture when you're evaluating a broker. Am I saying Weeble's the best? Absolutely not. Does Weeble have issues? Sure, they all do. There is no one best. It's what you like, right? JP's been with TOS forever, and obviously he likes it, or he would have left already, right? He's comfortable with it. He knows how to work the software. He can delve deep into all the inner workings of the softwares and make it do what he wants it to see. If he was unhappy, he would be gone. I use Weeble. I'm very comfortable with it. I know how to make everything generally work on it. If I wasn't happy, I would leave, right?
But I'm doing more on Weeble, Mark, just to let
are you
everybody
now?
know.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, good for you.
I just linked up the debit cards and all that stuff, and
Oh, okay.
I'll be making some moves because I want to use their turbo keys and be able to get in and out of things for under $1,000 in the account, you know, stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Because the fees are higher and everything.
Yeah, on different accounts.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
Yeah, you only have to have 500 to open it, but you don't have to keep it in there. You can trade a Russell for, what is it, $72 on a micro?
60, $70, yeah.
Hold on one second, I'll tell you.
I was wondering how you folks were telling me $100 or $200 and I got $900. Where can you go make, you know, 9 to 4 times your money in 20 minutes?
Yeah,
and I'm
right now,
going, can't do that in TOS.
no, you can't. Right now, the Russell Micro is $71.69 per contract.
For one contract.
Well, the one I'm looking at is ES and Gold and NQ.
Okay, so ES, the Micro ES is 144, Micro Gold is 412.50, and Q is $171.99
for micros.
And that's on
micros.
ES, Mark, again, where you can make the $50 a dollar when it moves a dollar.
No, if you want ES, it's 10x that.
Yeah, so it's.
I meant MES, you know.
So the
ES is the E-mini. That is what, 1,000?
Yeah, hold on. It's gonna be 10x, so it'll be 100 or 1,044.
Yeah, for one contract.
1,400. Sorry.
Oh, 14. Yeah, so 1,400. Just say $1,500 for one contract.
So I could have been trading ES, which I traded for $8 and $10 and $15 at a whack. I wouldn't even be talking to you guys about being 3,000 behind.
Correct.
Yeah.
What a mess. Okay, well, thank you for clearing it up and getting the dross off the boiling gold, and I'll move forward.
Yeah, you can go to Eddie Broker's website, and they have their margins and requirements listed. You can compare them that way. Now,
I never compared them.
Yeah, the amount you get paid per tick, that is contractual with CME. So you're going to get paid the same amount per tick. They can't change that. The only thing they can change is the margin requirements. Each broker can set their own margin requirement and their own transaction fees. But the payout is exactly the same.
Yeah. You know,
it's a fight trying to work with a smaller account. You know, just before I work with bigger money, I have to master this with just 1,000 or 2,000.
Yeah, right. And you can do that very easily. I mean, you could go to Ninja Trader, and their ES contracts right now are $500.
Yeah. So different brokers have different things, you know, but make sure you look at the whole picture, right? So
sure. But Mark, you saw what's happened in the last 3 weeks. ES has been going in ranges of 20 up, 10 down, 40 up, 20 down, 40 up, 15 down, stuff like that.
Yep.
Just amazing. And that's $50 a point, just $50 a dollar, you know, on the small side.
That's what it is, $12.50 a point.
Yeah.
That's fixed.
And I mean, I'm already trying to do that. I experimented with 100 contracts and the options and stuff like that just to try and get used to it. And that's where I both lost my face and made a lot of money. But with the futures, just the more you guys talk, the more I realize I've been wasting my time in options for a person like me.
Well, you know, JP, I think I said that out loud. Was that today or yesterday? Like, I heard you talking on Coach's Feed. I'm like, why is JP over there trading options? Why ain't he there with us?
Yeah, it's just.
But you can do both. You can do it, right?
For the last 3 months.
You have the ability to do both, and that's a good thing, right?
Yeah. Well, I'll do it. I'll just have to look forward, you know, Philippians chapter 3.
One is not better than the other. They're just different, right? They all have their advantages. stock options have their advantages and disadvantages, like trading futures does, right? So
Yeah, and I
nothing
know how
wrong
to
with
hit the
either one of
stop.
them if you know what you're doing, right? So
Right, and I know how to hit the stop and hit the button and get out if it's.
there you go.
And in the futures, I like the idea that you can be down just 1, 2, 3% and just jump out and wait for your next setup and get back in.
There you go.
Mhm.
Yep, it's a different product, So
Like Bruno hung in there, he was sweating it out, and a few people said, "I don't know if Mark hangs in there." I didn't say anything, but Mark, you told me once you don't hang in the future like you did options.
Oh no. I see profit, I take it. So it works for
Who's
me.
using the reverse button? Is anybody
Never.
in the room using
I
the
have,
reverse
but
button?
I have a couple times, but
I do.
I usually don't think about it. But yes, it works very
Well,
well.
the encouragement of one of the broker counselors at TOS said, just make sure you have your buy bid, buy ask, sell ask if you're going to play with the reverse button. So if you make a mistake, you can jump over and do something quickly.
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of buttons. When you look at TradingView, look at all the stuff it has on it. So you're good. You got all that. Every broker pretty much does. So.
Okay,
Yep.
well, I look forward to good things. I'll see you guys later.
Yep. Not an endorsement of either company. It's just they are different. That's all. Neither one's bad or good. They're just different. Right? That's what my mom used to say about me. You're neither good nor bad. You're just different.
Yeah.
Here's a stake
Bruno did
tied
pretty
around
good
your
on
neck.
Bruno did pretty good on a gold training what he was doing on gold.
All right,
And
good.
yeah, now I've noticed something, Mark. For 10 or 15, sometimes as much as 20 minutes, gold will run with ES right alongside. And if gold holds to a high side, you'll see ES just dump if gold flattens out.
Yep.
And then it goes opposite. But there was 3 or 4 times today, if you put up the gold study line opposite ES, you can see where ES was consolidating, and gold decided to just hang up there, and then ES just dumped right below it.
Yep.
It was interesting.
Yep. General rules are just that, general rules. It's a general rule. They're inverse of each other. It doesn't mean they don't follow occasionally.
Yeah.
So you can only talk in
thanks again.
generalities, right?
Thank you very much. See ya.
Thank you very much. Now, JP, get out of here. I don't know if you heard that or not. Anyway, that's one of our paid members. Another experienced member who's exploring trading futures. Well, actually, he does trade futures. All right. Anyway, another successful day. Very cautious day, but very successful day for most today. Glad you could join us today. Hopefully you learned a little bit about FOMC, the Fed Gov, and how they work. If this was your first time hearing about it, hopefully it didn't bore you too much. But our members are trained to know how to handle these economic events around the world, especially trading futures. We have to be aware of what's going on around the entire world, not only the United States. So we are always paying attention to the London markets, the Tokyo markets, things that are happening in Germany, and even, well, we was even paying attention to what was happening in Australia, trading with the elections over there. One of our members was aware that the elections were occurring and told us about the Australian dollar 6A, and we were able to profit on that. Matter of fact, wish I'd have been in that all day, right? I wasn't, but the other day and early this morning, I did make money on it. Unfortunately, look at that. Ooh, could have sat in that all day. Could have took a nap, come back just now, cash out. Look at that. Never did stop dropping, did it? Look at that. Is that not purdy? Ain't that a purdy trade? I think so. Look at that. So how much did that drop total? That was and it lines up here, down to here. One button. Back here, click this again. So that dropped from here down to here. That's about 180 tick drop times it pays. That pay $5 a tick. So do 180 times 5. That would tell you how much money you would have made on one contract. Glad you could be here today. We are live with American Dream Trading 3 times daily. Coaches live from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. I'm live here with the Futures Education and Training outreach from 2 to 4 daily. And we have the aftermarket show starting at 5 p.m. over on our YouTube channel, which is American Dream Trading. Head on over there at 5 p.m. Say hi to Dawn. Just don't mention my name. She gets a little upset. She doesn't like me for some reason. I don't know. So anyway, tell her I sent you. I'll tell her Ange sent you. That'd even be better. Go over there and say
Either
hi.
one's good. Either one's good.
Okay, either one's good. Okay.
Yep.
I'm still good in your book then. All right.
You're
Sorry.
still great in my bookmark.
All right. I'm sorry. I badmouthed.
Bookmark.
Bookmark. Anyway, head on over there at 5 p.m. American Dream Trading Channel. As always, upon completion of any of our live broadcasts, they are available for immediate review over on our YouTube channel, American Dream Trading. Thank you for all being here today. Make sure anybody you run into for the rest of the day that you would leave with a positive experience when they meet you. You never know what's behind their smile, so try to brighten up somebody's day. And we will see you same time, same bat channel tomorrow. Goodbye.